Hi, my name is Robin Manansola, and I'm doing my global climate change project based on this NASA website that I found on climate change. I thought it was a really great website because it has a lot of information about climate change, and it is also a really trusted website because it's done by NASA. And this graph here shows um, carbon dioxide level on the y-axis, parts per million, and on the bottom it shows time. And you can see the 2014 level is way above that line, and it says for 650,000 years, atmospheric carbon dioxide has never been above this line. I'm just going to go straight into the evidence of rapid climate change. As you can see, sea level rise, it says global sea level rose about 17 centimeters, which is 6.7 inches in the last century. The rate in the last decade, however, is nearly double that of the last century. On the left of that, you can see the island I did my research, which is south of India, is really vulnerable to the water around it, and if there was a tsunami or something, it would probably wiped out the whole island. And shrinking ice sheets. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we all know that polar bears are really endangered because their dependency on these ice sheets. And every year that goes on, the the mass of these ice sheets are decreasing. In warming oceans, it says the oceans have absorbed much of this increased heat, with the top 700 meters of ocean showing warming of 0.302 degrees Fahrenheit since 1969. Well, I know if oceans get warmer, I know that it will really endanger the coral reefs and make them vulnerable because of the higher air temperature. And just imagine the wildlife that depends on coral reefs and the wildlife outside the coral reefs that depend on the animals that live in the coral reefs. It will just mess up everything. In extreme events, it says the number of record high temperature events in the United States has been increasing, while the number of record low temperature events has been decreasing since the 1950s. The U.S. has also witnessed increasing numbers of intense rainfall events. No, the last part is probably true, but not California because we're still in a drought. The most recent extreme weather event would probably be Typhoon Haiyan, which was located in the eastern part of the Philippines. It nearly killed 5,000 people, and it probably affected millions of lives in the country. It left a lot of people homeless for a good amount of time. Before that, I would think it would be Hurricane Katrina back in 2005, where it hit New Orleans. The death toll wasn't that as much as Haiyan, but there was a lot of homelessness and a lot of victims in that one too. A little bit more on carbon dioxide, which is a heat-trapping greenhouse gas in our atmosphere that we don't want. NASA did their latest measurement in January of this year, and they found out it is 399.73 parts per million. As you can see the graph on the right, it shows that carbon dioxide is just increasing throughout the years, and that's something that we don't want. If it just keeps increasing, it's just bad for our atmosphere, and this can be bad global climate change throughout the years. Because of global climate change, the United States has problems released by the U.S. Global Change Research Program. The Northeast has heat waves, heavy downpours, and sea level rise. The Northwest has sea level rise, erosion, increasing wildfire, and tree diseases. The Southeast has sea level rise, extreme heat, which will affect health, agriculture, and more. Also, decreased water availability. The Midwest has extreme heat, heavy downpours, and flooding, which affects agriculture, health, transportation, air, and water. The Southwest has increased heat, drought, and insect outbreaks, which is us because we are in a drought. Lastly, it shows a picture of a wildfire, a drought, and a tropical storm. But I want you to focus on the right where it says a degree of difference. It says, so the Earth's average temperature has increased about 1 degree Fahrenheit during the 20th century. What's the big deal? Well, 1 degree might sound really small, but it's actually a really, really big difference. Um, there's a movie that is really great about global climate change, which is called 6 Degrees Could Change the World. You can watch it here on YouTube. I'll put the link below. And that's it for my project. Thank you.